Parts! 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 Parts!
How's it going, guys? So today we're going to be getting this car ready for the drift event tomorrow. We have about 2.5 hours or so to get this thing done. So John, what tool are we going to be using today?
So let me go ahead and reach in my bag of magic here. Sean, if you'll hold this real quick, we definitely need some Red Bulls.
Okay.
I got 1, 2, 3. This is good enough for at least 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
And of course, Jaeger. This is the most important tool of all. Anytime you're working on a car, especially on a Friday or Saturday night, you always got to make sure you got Jaeger involved.
Most important tool. Forget the 10 millimeter.
Yeah, forget the 10 millimeter. Leave it be. Doesn't matter if you never find it again. You got this.
You'll end up using your teeth by the end of the night.
It's all you
need.
need.
A 10 millimeter once you lose it. So once you have enough Jaeger on board,
you'll never need it.
Oh, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing the lower control arms, and then also we're going to be kind of rigging up the airbox just to get it ready for tomorrow. And then John, as you can see, he's got the control arm over here. I think you need to be wearing like a dress like in the Price is Right or something right now. But
yeah.
So he's got the lower control arm. We're gonna be swapping that out. Ghetto rigging the airbox to get it ready for tomorrow. Maybe messing with the tires a little bit, and then she should be good to roll.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to be keeping this bare minimum. Alignment's probably going to be off, considering we're replacing the main suspension on the driver's side. So chances are we're just going to be trailing this to and from the event. And then after that, I actually already have a core support on the way for the car, along with new headlights. So next week we should be getting those in sometime, hopefully. Sometimes those parts take a little while to get in. But once we get those parts in, we'll be making another video after the drift event talking about installing all of that as well.
And so the main reason we're just rushing this is because we have about 2.5 hours to get this thing ready to drift tomorrow, so in the condition. So we're going to get it ready to go as fast as possible. Also, we're going to lube her up a little bit, change the oil, you know. It's about that time.
You always need good lubrication when you're taking her sideways.
All right, John, let's get to it, man.
All right.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways.
Alright guys, so after pulling that damn control arm off, that was a pain. So we're going to have to stop and get us a nice nitro, maybe a Guinness or a left-hand stout.
A couple beers here and there.
Just a few. And then we're going to come back, bolt everything up, and then we'll call it the night. What'd you run, John?
What do you mean when I run? I don't have it yet.
What's that drink?
It's a shot.
It's a shot? What'd you get, Joy?
Not sure.
Not sure. I actually went with the Founder Sumatra Brown Nitro Stout. So it's similar to Guinness, but it's supposed to be a little bit stronger and have a little bit more coffee taste, so we can get through this control arm install. So we'll see y'all guys back at the Blue Waffle. Alright guys, so we went ahead and we buttoned up everything. It took a few hours, but we did what we could in one day to get it buttoned up for the drift event. So what you gotta say, John?
So all I gotta say is it wasn't really that easy of a job. We ran into a couple of issues. One being the lower ball joint on the driver's side knuckle was spinning whenever we were trying to take off the nut, so we had to kind of clamp it down to make it to where the stud would stay. Unfortunately, that let out a lot of the grease, and the ball joint's a little bit worn out. Ultimately, we're going to have to go back and replace that, but we did get that lower control arm replaced. The rearward control arm, however, was completely seized to the subframe, so we literally had to torch it out. We'll go ahead and throw some video in there kind of showing what we had to do. We had to torch it, cut it, do every last little thing we could to get that whole entire control arm out. I mean, it was completely seized to the chassis. It basically welded itself onto the stud. So that was a little bit of trouble. Then once we got the new control arm on, the same thing basically happened where the stud and the ball joint for the rearward control arm started to spin on us while we were trying to tighten it. So ran into a couple of those issues. It took a little bit longer than we expected, but ultimately we think we got it done. It's close enough. It's at least what we need to run for the event.
So guys, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and actually before I finish off this video, how much do we have invested total? We have about $1,600 in the car.
$1,600 plus $1,100 in the control arm. So what, we're looking at $1,710. Sitting right at about 1710.
And with the oil around 1750.
That's right. Yeah, 1750. I spent about $30 on the oil.
So go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you aren't at the current moment. Go ahead and throw a comment in below, and we'll see you on the next one. Actually, we're gonna test the car out first. Then we'll see you in the next one. Woo woo. All right, that's good. We'll send
All
it.
right, let's see what we're at.
Yep.